Karyn Bryant from MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Jason Parillo. Everybody knows that he is BJ Penn's coach. What's your take on the evening and how the fight played out?
Well, you know, you're upset, you're sad. You know what I mean? He went out there and didn't do what he wanted to do. You know, and sometimes I think in all sports, but I mean, especially the fighting game, you know, your mind's telling you one thing and your body's telling you another. You know, and it's hard to listen to the mind sometimes, or rather the body, I'd rather say. But go ahead.
I was going to say he didn't look like the loose BJ that we're used to seeing. He looked tense.
Yeah, he was tense. He was tense. I mean, his fighting's very tense. You know. Yeah, you know, it's hard to say. With me and BJ, I've been talking on the phone. See, for this camp especially, I've been on the phone with him all the time. I unfortunately didn't make it out to Hawaii, but he's been hungrier than I've seen him in, I don't know, 5 years maybe. You know, it's been 5 years since I've talked to this BJ Penn. You know, and he had, you know, a real mindset about what he's going to go out there and do tonight, and it was very believable. You know what I mean? And I believe he could have done it. I believe it's possible. His whole team did. All of us did. I think the fans did. I think they looked at him and said, "God, this guy's ripped." That's BJ Penn. That's who we know and love. You know, and I think, like he was saying up there in the press conference, you know, you think you're somewhere and you're not. You know what I mean? And I loved what he said, and me and him talked about it. We talked about it as we were walking out to the cage. I said, BJ, no matter what, you know, you'd rather be the guy that tried than never tried at all. You know, and granted, he's tried a lot. He's got two world titles. But he still questions himself about fighting all the time. Even he hasn't fought in almost 2 years now. Me and him still, even though I'm in California, he's in Hawaii, we're always talking about fighting. We're real close friends, you know, and you know, it's something that he wanted to try, and I want to try it with him. You know, and I'm glad that I got to support him and be a part of this fight. You know, which I believe probably is going to be his last fight, but you know, maybe not. You don't know, BJ. I just say that just because I don't like to be wrong.
What was the plan, though? He certainly spent a lot of time on his back tonight. What was the plan?
See, now that, you know, and again, talking to him over the phone, and you know, he had a real, you know, and the camp was very successful. You know, I talked to all the guys at camp, and BJ was wiping through, you know, high-level guys, top 10 guys BJ was going through, you know, and as far as on his back, you know, there was
active in a way, but
there was a plan behind it. Okay. There was, you know. I'm not best in the jiu-jitsu world, but you know, at the end of the day, there was a plan behind it, and I understand the plan, and he wanted to execute, but it was tough to execute. I mean, Frankie is such a quick guy, you know, and he has, you know, he's got a lot of angles. He's got a lot of wrinkles in his game. He's able to change it up and do what he wants to do sometimes.
Yeah, I think what was hard to watch was somebody that we know is so good at jiu-jitsu. It seemed like he wasn't making submission attempts. Obviously, know that you can do a lot from your back in jiu-jitsu, and so that's what I think was missing. I talked to Kenny Florian a little bit, who we all know knows about BJ's submissions, and he was just kind of stunned that there weren't more submission attempts.
Yeah, no, I was looking at that too. You know, I try to let the you know, his brothers, who are also very advanced jiu-jitsu guys, you know, I try to, you know, try to shut my mouth a little bit more in that situation. I agree with. I think there was some times where maybe he could have did the old school, take his back and go for the rear naked choke, you know, but. And I know, I believe, you know, I think BJ, when he believes in his game plan and believes in what he's going to do, he wants to try to execute it, you know. And I know that he wanted to bang him up from his back, you know. He in camp, from what I understand, he was really banging people up, and you know, from the guard, and you know, he wanted to hurt him from that position, and that really was a goal of his, you know. And unfortunately, again, it didn't go his way, our way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough night. Do you think that 145 pounds made a difference? Do you think if this had been contested at a heavier weight, it would have made a difference?
No, I don't. Well, you know what? I just think that I think BJ could be. You know, it's so hard for me to watch BJ fight Frankie Edgar because I know I love Frank. I think Frankie's a great guy. I love Mark Henry. I think they're great people. You know what I mean? I just know BJ has the ability. It's heartbreaking for the 3 fights that I sat in that corner watch him fight and see what he does in the gym and see what he's done in his past fights. And again, not that Frankie's not a very talented guy, he's a world champion. I just know BJ has the ability to beat him, and it's just heartbreaking to watch, you know.
So he pretty much said he was done tonight, though. But you're not 100%. Jason Parillo doesn't want to stamp on that. You don't believe it?
No, I believe it. In all honesty, if he was to ask me, Jason, do you think I should fight again? I would say, please don't, because I care about you as a friend. You know what I mean? But I always believe in a guy. You know what I mean? I'm always going to, especially the guys that I love. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to believe in them. And like this fight, like he fought this fight. Like I said, camp. He's wrapped up in what was going on and stuff. I will always have his back. Like I'd rather be there than not be. I'd rather be there to help him than not be there at all. You know what I mean? That if that makes sense. So I would not want him to fight, but if he was going to fight, I'm still going to support him. I'd back him up and help him out because that's my boy.
And moving on, are you working with Michael Bisping right now? He's got a fight with Cung coming up. Is that who you're focused on right now?
Yes, I am. We just started camp right before I came. We started camp. I was training. I had to pop out for the week to come out here, and we're going back in. I know he stayed training when I left, so we'll be hitting it hard tomorrow. I get off the plane probably 9:30 tomorrow morning, go straight to the gym.
Well, Michael was also out here, so it's not like you were completely blown off work, because so was he.
Yeah, he did a couple days out here. Yeah, exactly.
How do you see that going with Cung? Obviously, we know the kicks are what you really have to look out for.
Well, we had a tough last go. Mike was a little rusty. I thought, a little rusty.
He admitted it after.
Yeah, he was rusty and hesitant. So that made it, and so we have questions. A lot of people were worried about Mike being hesitant. He was hesitating quite a bit. I know Kennedy was very strong, so I know he's probably trying to avoid that takedown a little bit. But I love Cung fight. I'm a friend of Cung. I used to train with Cung. Cung used to train with me, brother, years ago. Man,
listen, you know everybody.
Like 15 years ago. I was the first boxing guy he came and trained with, but. I actually sparred with him for my pro debut, too, matter of fact, but as a boxer, but neither here nor there.
Did you win that debut?
I did. Oh, nice. Knockout, third. I was 8-0. I was 8-0 as a pro. I love Cung fight. I mean, and I like it because I could see more where Mike's at. And not that Cung not a tremendously dangerous fighter. You know what I mean? I just like the fight. I think Cung-Lee's, a little further along in his career. And I know, and Mike's had some ups and downs in his career. I mean, he's 35. He's still, and he's not a shot. He's still got it in tank. Mike's going to fight till he's 50. Even if it's in England somewhere in some back barn or something. But he loves to fight, so he's always going to fight. But I like to fight. He's a smaller 185-pound guy, and he's got his speed, his kicks, and stuff. And I like it as a stand-up guy. That's what I love about it. As a stand-up guy, he's got decent speed, but he is 42. I mean, no offense, Cung, but I mean he's 42, so he might be slowing down a little bit. And I think we can, we can get all that rust completely shaken off with that fight.
Nice. Well, Jason, thanks for your time, and just please let BJ know. And we all said it here at the post-fight press conference. Everybody gave him a rousing round of applause. That everything he's done is just much appreciated, and we thank him for all his entertainment and everything that he's laid on the line for us.
I definitely will. And one thing everybody's got. I mean, what you realize when I come to these shows, and I've worked a lot of high-profile guys' corners. I've been a part of a lot of fighters, and. He's an original dude. He's a real original guy, and the way people gravitate towards him is like nobody I've ever seen. And I'm so proud to be a part of his camp and a part of his team and all these years and the titles that we won.
Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Karyn.